Okay, so this is how to play my game LEXICONSTRUCTOR. I'll start by moving some forests over here. So this game was created for the Ludum Dare Game Jam 52. The theme was Harvest. And I did the jam portion of the Game Jam, which means this took me 3 days to make. Although I didn't actually work on the Friday, so it's kind of more like 2.5 days or something. But I'm pretty happy with what I ended up making in that amount of time. Wasn't sure I could get this all done. Anyway, this game is about harvesting words and processing them and then turning them into goals. So in this case, our goal word is forest, and we've harvested forest and brought it there, and we've completed that goal. Now our next goal is the letter M. So in order to get a letter M, now obviously we've got the whole word mountain here. We're going to have to use one of our other tools at our disposal. So I'm going to grab the cutter, and I'm going to cut off, well, you'll see here, the cutter splits mountain into the M and the ountain part of it. And since we don't need ountain, I'm going to put a trasher there that'll destroy it. And then I'm going to take the M, and what I'm doing here is normally, right, to move, you'd have to place every other tile, which is a bit of a pain. So instead I added a thing where you can just hold shift and it'll automatically place buildings, the mover buildings, on every other tile, which kind of gives you the feeling of a belt in one of those more traditional factory games. Speaking of which, this game was heavily inspired by the game Shapes, shapes.io, S-H-A-P-E-Z, which is on Steam, and I highly recommend playing it. It's really good. It's kind of like this, but it's more, it's 2D, and it's based around processing shapes in all different ways, and it's a very good abstract minimalist factory game. Anyway, so we've done our M's, or we're getting very close, and let's see what our next goal is. I think I'll do one more goal, and that'll be the end of this video. So rest. Oh, you know what? I'll do one more after that. Rest is pretty easy. So let's see. Rest. What we're going to need to do is take off the F and the O from forest, right? And then I need to put trashers there to keep the machines from getting jammed. And then I will bring the rest in. And if I didn't have the trashers there, the F would be there, and then when the next word tried to process, it wouldn't be able to output. It would get stuck. So we need to have something getting rid of those letters. Now we've got all our rest coming in. That's good. If we look around here, we have other biomes. We have field, quarry, jungle, dune, river, bamboo. We also have like a full free camera that we can move around and rotate. I'm not really sure why I added that, but I just did for some reason. And we can also zoom in and out and all sorts of things like that. Okay, we got our new goal. So mound. This is the last one I'll do. So for mound, it's got M-O-U-N, and so does mountain, right? So the obvious thing to do would be to make a whole bunch of cutters, and then we can get the letters M-O-U-N. And then in order to combine letters back together, we got the joiner, which is kind of like the opposite of the cutter. So we can move this O over here, and we would join this into M-O. And then, now, that's actually O-M, right? Because O comes in the left side. Now, what that means is that it's in the wrong order, and we can reverse any kind of word by using the reverser. And there we go. And we could do the same thing over here with the UN and so on. But we'd end up with this pretty complicated structure. So let's see if there's a more efficient way to do this. Right, so what we can do is take a reverser and reverse the word mountain. So we get, let's see, Nyat Nuam. And then we can cut, let's cut, I'm going to do it in a fun way here, just for style points. We could cut, oh, not like that. We need a gap for the puck. So what this is going to do is cut off these first 4 letters and leave us with just the N-U-O-M, right? And then the N-U-O-M I can throw through another reverser, and it'll give us that M-O-U-N back again. Right? So that's a much easier way of doing that structure I was building before. Instead, we just reverse it, we cut off a bunch of letters, and we put it back together again. And we can do the same thing here with field. We need that D for the end of mound. And what we can do is reverse it, cut off the D. There we go. And then we can move that D over to where we need it. So I'm going to bring it over here. We'll take the M-O-U-N and bring it over here. Again, that shift movement thing, very handy for this sort of thing. Oops, except when you drag off to the side. Now here what we need is a joiner, right? So we've got a joiner, the left and the right sides. If we look from this side, we can see the MOUN is coming in and the D is coming in. Oh, we don't want the DD. I don't know how that got through there once. But yeah, now we've got mound coming through. Now, in order to bring this back to the goal, we could... there's a variety of things we could do. So we could bring it over here. We could bring it all the way down to the bottom if we wanted. The other thing we could do is bring it across, and we could match up with this path. So now it's going to get merged in, and those are all going to go to the goal. Or if we wanted to keep them all separate until they get to the goal, we could use a tunnel, which is a piece that allows you to jump over other construction lines so that you can have kind of interwoven construction lines. Yeah, so that's all the core pieces. I'm not going to show all the rest of the words. There's only 2 more words left, but they get a bit more tricky. After all, it's just a jam game, so I didn't want to make it take too long or be too hard. Partly because there's no saving or loading either, so you got to do it all in one session. But yeah, it was a lot of fun to make, and I hope you have fun playing it, so check it out. Thanks.